Evening, everyone. First Alert forecaster Jonathan Polmatier here. Just wanted to give an update on our severe storms rolling through the region this evening. As we can see behind me, map very active. So let's take this all full screen. Let's take a look at what we are seeing out there this evening. Again, we can see that line of storms now. This has been a prolific line of storms this evening, especially west of Ellendale now and pushing into Oaks towards Gwinner. This has been the complex we've seen responsible for producing tornado warnings earlier on. Now we've just seen these continued severe storm warnings over the past hour and 2 hours now at this point. And this is going to continue moving south and east. So let's take a look at each of these warnings here individually. As we take a look at that first one, this one is the one, it's radar indicated. We're talking about winds up to 60 miles per hour. Hail size about 3/4 of an inch. So luckily we are seeing smaller hail sizes than we were on this cell than before. But again, still significant, still some fairly large hail. We're still talking about those strong winds as well. So you're going to want to take shelter as this approaches. In terms of our timing, likely arriving in Lisbon about 7:36. So in about next 5 to 10 minutes there. Talking about towards Milnor, Cayuga towards about 7:52, 8 p.m. That's going to continue pushing east. We'll see how well this maintains its strength. It's moving into an area with a little bit less storm fuel than some of the areas out west. So we're going to see how this interacts with it. But for right now, if you are under that severe thunderstorm warning, again, head indoors, take shelter, get into an interior room if you can. And then we've got another severe storm warning. This is likely going to be expiring soon. In fact, as we're getting towards the 7:30 hour, this goes until 7:45, so we've got about another 13 minutes on this warning. This is for Dickey County, so this includes Ellendale and Oaks. We're talking about our hail size up to about 8.8 tenths of an inch and wind speed up to 70 miles per hour. So the wind speed with this was and still continues to be the most significant threat on these storms as of right now. We have seen tornado warnings go out earlier. We didn't see anything confirmed touching down. That doesn't mean that we don't still have a tornado threat as we go through the evening hours as well. So stay weather aware in that respect. And as we take a look, we've got another cell. This was just recently gone to severe thunderstorm warned. And this goes into effect until 8 p.m. So this includes portions of McPherson County. Looks like, in fact, McPherson itself under the gun for these storms to impact within, I'd say, about the next 5 to 15 minutes. Includes also Leola and Long Lake. That hail size, 1.5 inches, wind speeds up to 60 miles per hour. So these storms are going to have strong winds, large hail associated with them. So take cover as they approach again. And also lightning threat, of course, with all these storms this evening. Lightning a point of issue as well in terms of safety. So when thunder roars, go indoors, as the saying goes. Take shelter as these storms approach. Another thing we've seen with these storms this evening is some pretty prolific rainfall amounts. This is looking at our rainfall accumulation map here, and we can see where those pinks and purples are. That's indicative of anywhere from as much as 3 to 5, potentially even approaching 6 inches of rain in just about an hour or two for some of these areas. So flash flooding concerns unfolding. We do have a flood warning for the area that goes until through the next couple of hours. And again, we've seen on this map, we've seen anywhere from 3 to 5 inches of rain falling. We've had reports of flash flooding around the area. So that's another point. If you see any flooded roads, any flooded driveways, just try to avoid those. Don't try to drive through floodwaters. It's surprisingly easy for floodwaters to, again, lift your car right off the road. And then as we look through just the area in general, we can see this is part of this complex largely pushing south and east, but we're going to continue to see development on these storms over the next few hours. Maybe, in terms of tornado warnings, we're going to want to watch out for an isolated tornado, but it looks like the main threats at this point are going to be those strong winds and that potentially large hail with some of these storms. Again, pushing south and east for Fargo right now. We're seeing some rain here, but for as of right now at least, looks likely that the majority of these severe storms are going to stay south of the metro area. But doesn't mean that you want to let your guard down. Still keep your phone on for those alerts. We could still get some severe weather pushing up north, but at this point, southern areas along that North Dakota border and in northeastern South Dakota look most likely to be impacted over the next few hours. And we can see this whole complex here. I'm just going to pull the pointer out. This whole complex, this whole line, pushing south and east. We've still got plenty of instability for these storms to feed off here as they move southeast. So be weather aware, especially as this line continues to push south and east. If you are on the North Dakota-South Dakota border towards Southestern, you're going to see these storms moving into your area within the next hour and a half, potentially even a little sooner with actually this line that just popped up here. You're going to want to keep an eye on that. I'll be keeping an eye on that as well. I'll have any updates as it gets closer to that I-29 corridor also. So let's take a look at what we can expect for the weather impacts. Again, we have that slight risk for portions of the area this evening, that yellow coloring. We've got a marginal risk for the rest of the region. That includes Fargo and Grand Forks. As of right now, the most likely outcome is that severe weather stays mostly south of the I-94 corridor. But again, we're still watching for that severe weather chance even north of the corridor, so just keep an eye out this evening. And in terms of impacts, again, the primary risks we're looking at, is that large hail and strong winds. Can't rule out a couple more isolated tornadoes. Let's just time this out as well. 8 p.m., of course, we see that storm activity continuing to push southeast. This model a little bit behind, so I think it's going to be a little bit quicker. So likely by the midnight hour, we're going to see most of this moving out of our region. And by then as well, we lose a lot of that storm fuel. We're going to see a lot less widespread severe weather. Can't rule out a couple of strong cells still. But by the midnight hour, hopefully the severe threat should be mostly over and done with. As we get into tomorrow morning, we still see some of those lingering showers. But again, no severe threat into your Wednesday morning. In fact, Wednesday is looking quiet. Let's just back things up here again with these graphics really quickly. Let's just take a look once again at those storms pushing south and east. Again, there's that one for central McPherson. We do have a tornado possible tag on this, which means you're going to want to watch out. There could be a brief spin-up tornado with this cell if conditions do briefly improve. So take shelter. Central McPherson just about under the gun from this cell. It's going to continue to move south and east after that. And then additionally, of course, we have that severe thunderstorm warning for Dickey County. We've got about 8 minutes left on that warning until it expires. Let's take a look again. There we go. Looks like that line is just about, you can see that, of course, moving at a very, very rapid pace. And that line likely just about to enter. You can see the leading edge there, getting towards Gwinner, getting towards Lisbon. So again, be prepared, get indoors. We've got strong winds, some fairly large hail with this, so something to keep an eye out there for. And again, the wind threat is really the most significant with this cell in particular. There is some hail, but again, just take shelter, get inside, wait until the cell passes. Then after that, hopefully there will be a little bit of a break. But we are also watching for more cells to regenerate over this general region. So keep that phone on you, keep those alerts handy, have multiple ways to get those. It's going to be an active weather evening. Again, I'll be back on here as conditions continue to evolve. I'll be providing updates as we go throughout the evening hours, me and Russ Thomas, of course. And we'll be here for you with the latest updates throughout the next couple of hours.